Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. A lot going on today, so let's get right into it. First of all, we've got polluted water in our pipes. We don't want that. A little bit of damage has been taken from our electrolyzers. We're going to pop some of these. What I'm going to do to solve this issue is direct this pump to go through our water sieves and actually our desalinator in case that's needed. That should have been done before, but anyways, we'll do that now. Let's get rid of this guy too. That's going to cause us to have to do a little bit of cleanup. Not the only thing going on as well. I also see that we've got a beta hive here, which needs a little bit of help, so we'll go in here and dig that out. Another issue we've got going on is inside here. Didn't realize this guy doesn't actually have access to here. If we ever got this as a solid tile, I'm not 100% sure if we would, but just to be safe, I think we should move that machinery over by one. So I see this beta hive is now happy. We fixed up our water system down here. So we've got polluted water that can go in, be treated. And we have the setup over here in our volcano. That guy's able to have... Oh, hold on. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. No! Okay, apparently I have to go back in here. While some of the dupes work on this, the next thing that I want to do... Oh, apparently a little bit of mop up. But I want to go over here and access this Megafron grain. We've got that's not being picked up, so we're going to put it in a line that's going to send that towards our deep freezer. The other thing that I'm going to do is for the first time, let's actually check. Berry sludge. Can we make this with Megafron grain? It looks like we can. Awesome. Oh, and pike apple. I didn't realize pike apple was also an ingredient. So, yeah, we're going to choose Megafron and bristleberry, because obviously we're making tons of that. We'll make that forever. Maybe make that high priority task. Let's just do a few double checks here. First of all, do we have our cooling line going around? That's the salt water. That's the case. Water, is that going in? It is. Bit of a priority over in this direction. We'll put that right there. More. Clean up. Clean up, clean up, clean up. And do I have... I might want to check if I've got Megafron grit. No, that's not. Let's have something that takes that out there. So this is for our cooking ingredients. Maybe I'll up this to 10. Found some updates that are needed with this setup over here. Veggie poppers just sitting on the floor. I guess that can be fixed easily over here. Toasted mimolette sitting down here. So I'm going to change some of this. Let's put in an auto sweeper right at this location here. So this needs to not be able to access down here, which definitely it won't be able to. So we'll put that like that. And then up here, this is going to be anything that gets cooked here. So I guess we already have that set to just about everything. Oh, a little bit of power is needed is all. Let's go check out what we're going to get. I think that actually got connected, did it? And we are grabbing, oh, pip eggs. Cool. So let's go... There we are. So that's now being picked up. So that's looking a little bit better. And then the other thing I'm thinking is all the stuff that gets thrown in here. These take a while. Maybe I'm going to go back to 5 on this one. And anything that is a little bit faster to cook, like the Megafron and the Mimolette, I won't put in this fridge. And we'll use this new fridge. Mimolette, that's the input to toasted mimolette. And Megafron. And I think this was bristleberry. Oh, bristleberry not being Okay, let's add that as an ingredient then. Bristleberry. Maybe make this... Oh, not 100. Not 100. Let's do maybe 8. Okay. So I am concerned about the amount of heat that's being produced up here. We've got 2 thermoregulators that are keeping our deep freezer cool. We also have this hot leaky oil fissure, but I can't give my attention to that just yet because I want to build this all-important oxygen pipe. Currently our oxygen lines are not looking that great, but that's just because we're waiting for water to get back into the pipes way up here. Is that at least a path? Uh-oh, I got this connected to the wrong thing. That should be the cooling line, shouldn't it not? Just a sec. Little change here. We need this pipe updated. And the reason I'm doing this so urgently is because over on this asteroid, we have steam. Not liking that. That's from this copper volcano. I do have a temp shift plate right here out of coal, but it has not done anything. So we're going to put some atmo suits and see if we can deal with something. Obviously, only going into this area once the atmo suits are already oxygen lines set up from our teleporter. Over here, specifying the fact that we want megafine grain to be transported. And that should join up over here with... Uh-oh. This is meat going nowheres. I don't like that. Let's have that fixed up. Assume that's just, yeah, that little track there, not meat. The other thing that I've got going on is a little bit of a temperature check right here, just to make sure things don't get too hot. I really like the fact that there's, well, kind of wish that we had liquid here. Maybe that'll happen at some point. But we can run as long as the temperature is above, let's say, 30, well, maybe even 33 degrees. Currently fine. How are we doing for plastic? Might look at making some plastic ladders. Upgrading our 2 ladder systems towards the center of the base to be plastic. And I want to put in some bins here. The first material I want to send over to the other guys is some atmo suits. Maybe we should make sure we've got enough. Actually, no, we don't. Let's make a few more. Maybe cobalt. Grab 6 of those. So this is going to allow the dupes to go up a little bit quicker towards the center of the base. Maybe make a prayer. How are construction activities going on? Okay, they're going to take a little bit. Meanwhile, that temp shift plate is still not doing anything for us, and things are just getting more and more out of control. I might want to look at sending another dupe over actually to help out. Nice looking plastic ladders. Next thing I want to do is fill up this tank. This tank was meant for the Jabos, and I'm kind of surprised I haven't been putting them in a tank. That's mostly probably because these geysers I was planning on using had dried up, but they are now both active. So we'll get the liquid from both of these and have them sent into this little area. Sending Spark over to this world and putting in our first atmo suit. So we'll have that dropped off here, and we'll tell this atmo suit we only have a few in existence, so I won't limit this, but we'll need to turn that off in a second. Seeing hydrogen line up and someone on the manual generator. That's because I forgot to set this here. Let's make that maybe 80, 95. Okay, let's perhaps disable this, or at least get you off that thing for the moment. There's actually more reed fiber here than there, well actually there's no reed fiber left in the main asteroid, so we're going to set up a place to do a little bit of repairing of suits that are brought over, maybe even generate some of our own. Let's go over check in this little location. Do we have any liquid? Okay, so we've got some polluted water arriving here. This line's a little bit quiet. Is that just because that geyser is not active at the very moment? Yeah, that's all that is. I had a goal of getting rid of this salt water, so we're just going to do a little bit of pumping from corners and end and see if we can just make this either just polluted water or regular water. I might. This is going to be an area for the Let's see. Might want to put mesh tiling because we want to get access to the polluted water on this side for the gulps. But we don't want to have these gulps to fight with or be consumed by pacus, or not pacus, jumbos. So maybe I'll change that out too. Over here, I chose to store a certain amount of reed fiber at high priority. At lower priority, we'll send more over back to the homeworld. So that we'll have a little bit of reed fiber there. Now we've got some Atmos suits. We need to get that to be charged up so we can address this terrible situation. We have 2.5 cycles before this volcano becomes active. We want to dump a little bit more water than currently there. Not much at all. We don't want to over flood it either. Maybe aim for about 75 kilograms or... Yeah, we'll start with that, cut that off. Probably going to need to add some more later on though. We've got these 2 pumps starting, and we've got that feeding these desalinators. Looking at our water supply, things are not looking great. We've got lots of plants here that are not getting enough water, realizing we're feeding in more and more salt water, and we're only running a single desalinator, so I think I'll have to do a little bit of a change here, but we got to get another one brought in. Now we're going to have 3 of these desalinators. Power them up, give light access. Make sure we do this right. So we've got our mix of water going in. And that's going to be going into 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 coming out of that. And then the slower time over here. I've got this vision of insulating this area to protect this guy. Oh, this just showed is dormant. He is now active. Okay, cool. But yeah, essentially I wanted to get this hot water and even this copper volcano dumping liquid way, possibly even down here, trying to avoid these beta hives along the way. We'll see how that goes over time. Check our desalinators. Okay, so liquid in, liquid going out. Excellent. Let's check over on this asteroid. Oh, these guys are idle. We've got our Atmos. Okay, so we need to do something here. That's some very cool liquid scalding. Oh, I'm still using cobalt over here from up in this zone. Okay, that should hopefully just be temporary. But down here, I want to put in some mesh tiling so we can get some of this polluted water over here. But I'm realizing with regular water and very cold temperatures, I might want to put in a heating system, so we'll do that. Doesn't have to be for very much. Let's make sure if you ever go below, maybe even 3 degrees, we'll add a little bit of heat. Once we start to get this in, we'll be able to add in or open this up. Yeah, shoot. I guess that heating system's, I don't know if this is a good idea. We'll just let it play through. Oof. We're going to have to add another heater on this side, I think. Now I'm installing 2 transformers here. We've got 2 transformers here. These guys are going to power the bottom of the base. We'll just have to separate this. We don't have this little connection. These 2 are going to be dedicated towards running 2 liquid tempedizers over on this side, controlled by thermosensors. Let's check on the project over here. Okay, we're going into this little zone. What I'd like to do eventually is get up on this side, go in from this angle like this, and then dig down so we can flood this guy. I also like to flood this guy. These temp shift plates don't seem to be working out. I've got them sitting there made out of coal and they're not doing anything, so we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way, which is just flood them both. A little bit of liquid here that can be mopped up. As I'm watching the liquid transfer between these 2 places, just getting a little bit nervous. These guys are going to become crowded. They are not at the moment. That's good to see. And scalding, I'm assuming again, that's our cobalt production of Atmos suits. With that heater going in that zone, I'm going to go down here. Give my attention to the fact that this incubator is creating a little bit of heat. So we'll put in a line here, or just extend this line that's already here rather, with granite tiles and radiant pipes to be able to handle that. Hammer opening up this water so we can take care of this guy here. Uh-oh. We're getting so much heat on this side that we're getting steam from the little bit of liquid that's there. Okay, this very much needs to be done quickly, guys. Meanwhile, this volcano is getting attention by having some liquid thrown on top of it. I think we're just going to connect into some water. See if we get that. There we are. So this guy now flooded. That should both cool things down and prevent this guy from opening any more heat. We've got some water on the way to deal with this as well. It's probably going to cause some initial steam, maybe? Oh, no, maybe not. We're able to keep that water warm enough, or cool enough, rather. Let's go back, check on this asteroid. These guys look idle, so we must have our line that's going through here. Perfect. A little bit worried that the kitchen area is a bit confused. I just mean in the sense that we could get all of one thing. Bristleberry. Oh, in fact, we're in this situation where we only have bristleberry. So we're never going to get the megafaun, assuming that goes in the deep freezer first before getting. Well, we've got some. I can kind of, yeah, I see it in there. So I'm going to actually get rid of these guys and change this out. Let's no longer store this in here. Mimolette doesn't need to be stored in there because this auto sweeper could just automatically push it into this electric grill if it needs it. I just need to make sure that, of course, that berry, we got megafaun, and yeah, make that forever. This is good. This is much better. Make that a high priority thing. And the nice thing is we don't actually need to pick up the berry sludge because it doesn't go bad, which is a cool property of it. Just curious, what get thrown in here? No, we don't want bristleberry. Yeah, that's basically a fridge for nothing at the moment. So we've been trying to get this system done, and there's just been other priorities. This is the polluted water system, so putting in the settings. This guy here is probably not going to help us be able to vent this out, so we're going to get a gas pipe, try venting out along the way. Probably had that pump cut off. Oh no, I didn't. Oh, it's just overpressure. That's the only thing keeping it from creating a vacuum inside here. I'm going to spend my plastic on more ladders, both here and here. We've cornered the last little bit of salt water over here. Let's just make sure these guys are happy. Okay, that's good. And do we still have liquid? Not at the moment. Oh, a little bit on the way here. Let's see, we've got some ice still, though. That should hopefully be melting at some point, anyway. Aiming to get into this little spot because it is, whoa. Oh, oh, damage. Okay. Not cool. We need to get rid of that. And take this heat situation, get that under control anyway. Just set up to do some little cooling here, and I realized, oh, cool. We've got some gold emptying out over here. Let's try this out. So this was designed to pick up the gold. You know what? I don't think I actually put in a drop-off spot. Let's do that right about there. But conductive panels, just a little bit of access, essentially 2 passes for each one of these. And we're also going to do a single pass over here. And this guy here, we want to block off so it's not able to output anymore, at least for now. Mopping up. Random mopping up all the time. Let's make sure we get this wall put in like that. Okay, and we go, let's slow this down. Just curious what we're going to get for temperatures going out. Nice and cool, though this block probably started off pretty cold. It's not going to stay that way, but that's decent. So now we're getting gold. That's not insanely hot. We can see some water here about to boil. Just notice underneath the volcano, we've got an ore grove node that's not happy. It is too cool. Interesting. It's apparently getting the heat from the incubator. I guess this is not strong enough. 28, maybe take that up to 33. Do a little bit of extra heating, see if that helps. Are we getting a leak in here? Sure, I'm not entirely sure. That was a little bit of a surprise, but anyway, we'll see if this this setting helps. Moving our Rex up to this stable. I don't see any dartles here. It's because we're not actually fully automating the transfer. Before I actually do that, I want to have a dedicated spot for wild critters. So I'm going to put wild dartles over here. I'm going to do the same thing with lums, automate dropping off that, but I don't want any wild lums to be picked up. And they need to ideally be in a warm area, so we're going to have this area for wild lums to stay, hang out. Dupes over here. I'm thinking it is time to get a deep freezer for these guys. Food is low. We need to start growing a little bit more food. Might be able to start importing food from the other asteroid. In which case, if we do that, a deep freezer would be really smart. Berry sludge, though, might be a temporary thing. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should send over some berry sludge. How much of berry sludge do we have? 140,000 calories. I think we can spare some. We need to make sure that this exosuit is rebuilt so that we have places with Atmos suits that can be fixed up. So that's going to go with there. Making that out of steel, that might be a bit of excessive in just reaction to what happened earlier. Now that we've got radiant pipes, I don't think we'll have an issue. Getting a little bit of steam from this gold volcano. Still continuing to get gold out of here. Just curious what temperature. 3.8, that's pretty good. Though again, that's probably still due to the fact that some of the tiles haven't warmed up yet fully. Okay, this setting here, very important. Let's go to repair, make that a forever thing. There is yet 2 undiscovered geysers. One right here. There's a lot of geysers on this asteroid. Pebble, can we take a look at this one? Okay, infectious polluted oxygen vent, and there's one more. It's going to take a little bit longer to get over to this one. Let's load in some berry sludge here. Make sure these guys over on this asteroid don't run out of food. Oh, and they need something to do. We have a vacuum in here, so we're going to go over where we've got a tiny bit of chlorine, do some filtering, and send that into this little place. And yeah, how are we doing with, okay, over 100,000 calories now that we have the berry sludge here. Okay, so that should hold for a little bit. Continuing to dig down so we can add water from way up here to go down. Maybe we, okay, let's hold off. Okay, you guys are, okay, on this side you guys are wearing Atmos suits. Actually, yeah, it's okay. Let's open up that volcano. I'm trying to eye a Jabbo to take over. This guy's 89, has an offspring. The reason I want to have offspring is keep one wild. This guy over here, oh, 64, has not dropped an egg. Maybe he's close. I'll keep an eye on this guy. Next task is to treat the heat that's coming from this guy. He's just a little too close to the base. We're going to move our thermo regulators over here instead. Guess we don't need the cooling system on this. Well, might as well just hold off on that. While the dupes are doing this over here, we are going to install idle. That How is someone idle when I have so much to build? Is someone stuck? Uh-oh. And over here, we got our chlorine there. That's really weird. Okay, alright, that's gone. So yeah, these guys are going to work on the deep freezer. And I guess we're almost ready for the next little section. Get a random item. What's it going to be? Expanding my oxygen system. We've got various Atmos suits. We've got entrances here, here, and all over the place. And this is leading to trouble filling them with oxygen. So I have another line. Kind of regretting not having that built a little bit higher up, but maybe that's something I can move another time. Let's go check on the dupes over here. They've got their deep freezer system they're putting together. Then after this, I was going to put a steam turbine above this. I probably would at some point, but I'm thinking kind of seems to be a waste of taking all this heat away. Instead, why don't I just pump this from where I don't want it to be to somewheres where I want to warm up. We might make this spot up here a little bit more permanent. Not super permanent, but lasts a little bit longer than I thought. And we are going to put in some heavy watt wires down in here. Oh, I don't think I actually connected our new oxygen system to anything more than... Oh, that's not doing anything. Oh, okay. No. Hold on. I guess we forgot that. Oxygen's not going... Maybe that... Oh, okay, that one. Shows a place for the flocks to hang out over here, the wild flocks anyways. This will pick up some of the meat. Combine with some of the tough meat from here. We're going to get rid of this. And then have that go up. I actually designed this such that the dupes won't be... Oh, we didn't have tough meat selected here. I don't know that there's a reason to actually block access from the dupes. I was concerned that they were going to move their eggs into here, but all the egg... Oh, the incubator. You would think the auto sweeper is going to prevent dupes from ever doing anything with this, though. Okay, I'll block them off for now. Just I don't see there being a reason why we need to have dupe access. Jabbo I've been keeping an eye on. I see has laid an egg. So we're going to dig up to visit this guy. A little bit more progress. We need to tie into the carbon dioxide line because I'd like to get some carbon dioxide where we have our temporary food storage. We also need a little bit of hydrogen. I think all that's left to do on that is just a vent. Let's just double check. Oh no, not quite. Just need a little bridge going right there. Over on this asteroid, we're going to start transporting some of this polluted water and get that to converge with this line. This guy seems to be outputting liquid a little bit slower than I thought. I guess I am trying to fill up a massive tank. So anyways, yeah, we got these guys still eating algae. How are we doing? 81 tons of that. What about some of the other inputs? Hard to see unless I go across a dark area. Sandstone. I wonder if I should turn down one of these stables. 600, that maybe not yet, but maybe soon. Oh, and we are out of salt. Good. All right, so we can disconnect this guy here. No need to continue running. We're getting close to our Jabbo. This is exciting. Looking forward to this. Getting the Jabbo tank going. Get a ladder so we can reach down. Next thing I'm doing, we're going to transport some of this hot liquid. We've got a protection for the local environment so we don't heat this area up, but we can transport this to somewhere where I want to actually warm it up. And we can start with this location for that purpose. And we are ready for the next part of, let's just make sure that this polluted water is being transported. It looks like that is flowing. First bit of very hot crude oil being dropped off over here. Okay, I'm stopping it here for today. Let me show you something I've just noticed. Our electrolyzers are dry. If we look back to the input system, we technically have this. What I could do temporarily is change this limit from maybe 500 to 100, so that should get a little bit more liquid pumping. But I've not been paying attention to this. I certainly probably should have. But our input liquid, this is, we had a little bit from here. Clearly that's dry. I might be in a situation where I'd be desperate enough to take in some hot liquid, so we'll pop that. And yeah, we finally have run out of all we could get from these pumps. So we can get rid of that, And the process of melting ice has just been taking too long. Maybe I can up this. That's a few things that I can do. But I'm going to have to sort through this next time. Anyway, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.